Hey everybody, welcome back to How to Escape. This is Rahrena, and tonight we're going to be doing a very brief demo on how to remove the polished trim at the base of your windows. This is requested by YouTube user Swisher about a week ago. We're going to be demoing the front and the back doors. It's very quick. Let's get started. So the tools that you're going to need for this is just your car key, and surprisingly, just a 7mm driver. A socket wrench will work as well. After putting your keys in the ignition, lower your window. All right, now that we have the window all the way down and inside the door, we have the clearance to lift this little trim piece right off the front. But the only thing we need to remove now is this little 7mm screw right here. So I'm going to take my 7mm nut driver. It's a very small screw. Super tiny little screw. Keep track of that so you don't lose it. Now with the screw removed behind here, it's just tucked in the front there. With the window down, there's no resistance to lift it up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reach over the top here and put a hand in the middle and support it so we don't bend anything. And now that we have it bent up, I'm going to slide it towards the back of the car. And there you go. So because we lifted it away from the front first, I'm going to tuck the nose end down and forward, and then walk it and make sure the ridge is over the door. Seat it back in place. One final thing to make note of when you're putting the panel back on is that the holes line up so you don't force the screw in somewhere. So what you can do is you can lift it up, slide it back, and adjust it until you make sure you have that lined up. We'll put our window up. And there you have it. The front is secured back in, your window's back up. Take your keys out, you're good to go. All right, so now looking at the rear passenger door on the right, the trim panel on here is going to be very similar, except that there's a screw in the front and in the back. Again, with our keys in the car and the window lowered, we're going to move over to the rear, and you're going to see this 7mm screw right here. And then right above the door hinge is going to be the second 7mm screw right here. So unscrew that. The front door, start from the back edge, lift up, support it in the middle, and the whole thing lifts vertically. And then of course as you reinstall it, pay attention to the groove. Obviously polished surfaces on the outside. Unlike the front, this one can just drop straight down, so you don't have to tuck it forward and rock it down. You can to use the ridge as a guide if you really want, it helps. But just make sure that the back of it is lined up there. We'll get it in place, and then we'll check our screws. Now when reinstalling these little screws, the intent is to put the front screw in first and then follow up with the rear one. Now that's because the front has a hole and the rear has a slot. So if you started with the slot and you were off center, the front might not line up. And then as you can see here, the opening there is more of a slot, again, to absorb that tolerance. And it is pretty well centered on there. All right, then finally, once you have your keys back in and your window raised up, check the trim alignment here, and then from the door-to-door connection from front to back doors. If it's lined up, everything's good to go, you're done. So the part numbers for the rear and front polished trim panels are going to be listed on the Rahrena app. Again, with our part options on there, you can check that out. That's going to be updated in the next 48 hours. Swisher, I hope that this was helpful to you. Give a shout if you have any other questions. For anyone else who was coming by to check this video out, if it was helpful, please give it a like, share, subscribe. Check out the Rahrena app. Give us a question if you have any. Let us know if there's a video you want us to make for you, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching How to Escape.